Hey, what's going on, guys? Righto, Grey's Online auction results. Here we go. Here we go. Now, we're going to start out with this super tidy Falcon, righto. Yeah, what can I say? This is the one that was in the video. I had a bit of a close look at it and it was absolutely spot on. 26 grand, reserve not met. It's a lot of money for one of these, I think, but yeah, what do you do? It is tidy though when you see it, that's for sure. The next one was this. It's a bit of a weirder one, and this is the stuff that's actually really surprising me. A Humber VOGUE Sedan sold for $10,300. Like, to me, it's not to my taste, which doesn't matter at all, really. But it's something now I'm starting to pay attention to, because I do run across stuff like this a bit, and I'm going to have to start saving it, not for me to restore, but for me to clean, get running, and get back out in, because people obviously have an interest. So doing these videos and doing these Greys ones has actually been very good for me to, yeah, look at something different from a different point of view, which is great. The next one is one though that is very close to my heart, as you can see. VNSS Commodore Atlas Grey. This is the one out of our, it was in the previous video, but we had a really good look at it in the first of this series. It sold for $21,000. Okay, I reckon that's pretty reasonable on this thing. I think it was pretty much on the money. You can see it is a tidy car. The paint was down a bit, had a few touch-ups on it, and you could see it, you know. But the interior is the thing that really let it down. It had Calais seats and weird timber bits in it, and it just wasn't right. But it was still a tidy car. 21 grand, someone would be very happy with that and be able to put an interior in it. But yeah, so righto, the next one was that HD Premier. Okay, it was the one that was polished within an inch of its life. Original paint, the hood liner had dropped, $18,100, and it did sell. That's crazy. It was a very original car though. Good driver. It wasn't that rusty. It did have a bit of rust, but you can see it was a nice car. But you know, everyone to their own, and I love them things though. I am a Holden guy, as you guys know, but I do have a respect for other things like this one. This is, what a car. RX3 Coupe. Rotary, was missing the carby. My prediction was, so my prediction still is at about 40 grand. A couple of you guys have put other comments up, so yeah, give me some comments, give me some numbers, and we'll see how we go. There you go, and it sold for $40,600. So I wasn't far off my money. I'm pretty happy with myself, I must admit. A few of you guys made some other comments or some other stuff. No one overly agreed with me that it was going to be 40 grand. We had ones down at 35, up at 50. But you can see she's a beautiful thing, isn't it? I love 808s and RX3s. But then there was this wagon, this 808 wagon. It sold for 2.5 grand. I'm sort of kicking myself a little bit that I didn't buy that myself to just get the parts for my 808 sedan. But what do you do? But you can see it was rough. Inside, it looks like a dog had lived in it, and then the front was very rusty. This next one, this Datsun 180 SX manual coupe. Okay, this blue one, it threw me when I first come in. Very tidy car, 90,000 Ks. Didn't sell. It got passed in at $16,278. But you can see it is a tidy thing, and it was quite good. It was an import. Yeah, I hadn't seen one before. It's one of those things which is good. I'm pretty obsessed with this sort of stuff and have been most of my life. And for me, but as the years go by, do you guys notice that you actually do notice cars like this now, where 10 years ago you wouldn't have given it a second thought, but a Survivor that's not rusted out, that isn't all modified, is sort of, you look and go, geez, look at that, you know? Like, yeah, remember those days? The next one is a very regular car in the classic car scene, is your split screen Kombi. When I looked at this thing, it was really tidy, and I said in the video, I think it might be an import, and you can see there it was an import. It got passed in at 53,000, so it didn't actually sell, but it was a camper and it was really tidy. Yeah, I don't know, I love me split screen Kombis. I don't think I'd ever buy one or own one. They're just not my cup of tea. I love looking at them. They really, the look of them really appeals to me. But owning and using one, I just don't think it's for me. But in saying that, yeah, if one comes up, I would buy it. But yeah, the next one was that blue HZ. My first car was a HZ. I've actually filmed a bit of a video on my first car, which will be coming up soon. It was a red one of these that I had, but I made a prediction again. What was it? I made a prediction. I think this thing was going to go for 12 or something. Okay. And 13,100, so I was $1,100 off. I wasn't too far away, but close. But I did say in the video, like, I made my prediction of 12 grand on this thing from these photos. Like, when you look at that, it looks pretty tidy. When I saw it in person, I sort of went, oh, this thing's pretty rough, you know. And the best thing I think I said in the video about it was the dashes together. Yeah, but a good sand and a coat of paint would have made it 10 times the car, but still, what do you do? If that was a HQ, it probably would have been 17 or something. But yeah. And the next one. Okay, so here she is. I didn't know what to say. When I saw this thing, honestly, I didn't know what it was. As a lot of you guys know, I'm not a big Ford guy. It doesn't mean I hate Fords. It just means that it's just not my cup of tea. I looked at this car, and when you look at it there, right, it's a column automatic, carbureted 6-cylinder, interior's atrocious, switches are hanging out of the console, and it got passed in at $31,100. What I've found out since, okay, because when I went away, some of you guys made some comments, and I thought I better do a bit of research. There was a limousine company called Spanamore which started this thing. It actually come with paperwork. There was a lot of paperwork in that car and on the site, and you can see there the pricing of getting stuff done and when it was built and who it was for. So the paperwork on this car was really good. It was quite interesting, but you can see that in the photos it actually looks quite good, but it was rough, guys, like really rough. And that front end, like, it's terrible. I'm sorry, but I just can't get there. There was a guy with a belligerent message this morning when I woke up about it. I'm going to do a rant video. It's coming soon. Anyway, back to the action. Our little Mazda Ute. Okay, $3,200. It sold. As you can see, it was all right. It wasn't completely rusted out. It wasn't great, but it was, you know, it was all right. But it was cheap. That was cheap, I reckon. Like, compared to when you look at that Humber thing that was 10 grand, it was drivable, I suppose. It's hard to pick the prices sometimes. I'm hoping with this video series we can all sort of get our head around the prices a lot more, because, yeah. But the next one was, look at this beautiful girl. Now, this was real surprising, because when I first walked into Gray's in that video, right, there was that 180 Datsun, the blue thing, and I was like, what is this thing? And I'm looking and, you know, getting right into it. Right sitting next to it was an SS50, this one. Like, I didn't even see it, and I've got one of these, and I look for them, and you don't see them very often. There's only 500 made. I'd be surprised if there's 300 of them left. There was 250 manuals and 250 autos made in the black with those wheels and that bar on the back. It got passed in at $16,700. This thing was a very original car though, right? And you can see the interior there. It has all the yellow inserts on the seats and door trims. Mine, I've recovered the seats on the side black with yellow stitching. It just looks a lot more tasteful than that god-awful yellow. But anyway, what do you do? 16 grand they passed in. Yeah, I don't know. But then on the way at the other spectrum, right, you've got this Falcon Ute, right? And it got passed in at $39,600. $39,600. The Ford Utes are just worth so much more. This is a beautiful car though. Like, it's yeah, I do like that. I like that a lot, actually. The next one, brown Kombi. This thing was super tidy. You would have seen that from the videos. It was in the same realm of restoration standard as that Wagon at the start of this video. It got passed in at 37 grand, and as you can see, it's very brown. I do believe myself, if this was painted a different colour, it would have pulled bigger money. It's hard when you're doing a restoration, if that was its original colour, trying to keep it original. sometimes you need to deviate from original if you really want to sell it. It's like painting cars purple, right? You don't paint your car purple thinking you're going to pick up chicks because they like purple, right? All you're doing is making your car worth nothing and unsellable. It might as well be a Saab. It'll be a lifetime investment that you will never be able to sell. You do not paint your cars purple because you will not pick up chicks just because your car's purple. End of story. Finished. Anyway, back to the cars. Right, the next one was this Mini. This thing was absolutely mint. Like, I couldn't fault one piece on this car. There wasn't one screw out of place, there wasn't one mark on it. And I saw on Facebook this thing come up, and because it's a tribute, it's not an original Cooper S, there were tears, dudes. You have no idea. The tears in the comments about this thing not being an original Cooper S, rah rah rah. This thing was mint. It didn't sell, it was at $30,101 and it passed in, right? But you can see how mint it was. Look at the engine in this thing. It was absolutely spot on. Twin carbs, it had all the Cooper S stuff. But yeah, but in saying that, to me, it not being a proper Cooper S, I don't care. But if that Atlas Grey V and SS from earlier was a tribute SS and not a real SS, I wouldn't have even looked at it. I would have glazed over it and kept going. So perhaps the guys that are, you know, in there for the minis, it's offensive to them. Different people like different things. And yeah, but anyway, there was this Toyota Celica that was in, not the last video, the video before, that was out the front of the office, had plates on it, was super tidy. It must have just turned up. It got passed in at $24,800, but this thing also is super tidy. I didn't have a good look through this thing because I didn't think it was an auction car, so I didn't touch it, but it was very, very tidy. Yeah, I don't know, but that's I don't know what it would have gone for, but I'd say it would have been around the 30 grand they were looking for it. And the last one, X2 optioned HD Holden. So an X2 optioned HD Holden would have had twin carbs, and they have a different cluster in the dash, which, yeah, and that's about it really. Like, it's semi-premier, you know, but X2, everyone loves a GDS. It's like the GDS of the HRHDs. It sold for $17,800. That was quite a good car. Like, it wasn't mint, but it wasn't rusty. You would be more than happy to drive that round. You know, it was very presentable, but at the same time, for $17,800, but it would need a full resto almost. At least a closed door respray, perhaps. But anyway, it was a nice car. So whoever bought that, congratulations, because I like it a lot. But there you go, guys. I hope you enjoyed that. I'm very sorry about the wind in the walk around video, but when we do the walk around down there, you are at the port of Brisbane and it is windy. I do have a proper mic with the expensive Rode mic with the cover over it, but it is just noisy, just like the compressor that just come on, because at the end of the day, guys, I'm a truck driver and a boiler maker, and yeah, I'm not a filmer and an editor. I just love cars. But anyway, righto guys, thank you so much everyone for watching. Appreciate your support. I appreciate the constructive criticism, and I hope you see that I changed the video format for you. Appreciate the comment, buddy. Constructive criticism is welcome, and keyboard warriors, see you.